So someone who is not a professional athlete may not have all the resources to someone like yourself, but they're curious. They maybe have inflammation in their knee or swelling in a joint that they maybe want to get looked at, but they've been to other providers and they're just not, they feel like they're not listening and, or they've tried everything that hasn't worked. How does someone go about maybe figuring out if they have a leaky gut and like getting the steps started to understanding their own body?
Yeah, so I would say definitely look at the ifm.org. So that's the Institute of Functional Medicine. And you can go on there and look for functional medicine specialists that do this type of testing as well. And it's great. So you'll just put your state in, and you'll be able to look and see where who the nearest functional medicine doctor is.
And do you need a doctor's prescription to do this, or can you just get blood work on your own?
No, you could actually go, well, as far as the blood work nowadays, there's all these companies right now that offer, okay, here's this kit and we're going to do, blood work. I don't want to mention who it is. I personally have a problem with that because you're now doing blood work on your own and you don't know what to do with it. And even though it says normal, but what is normal? They just have you in this range, right? And not even taking into account really true deep history and taking in those, like I said in the beginning, that assessment with your doctor or your nurse practitioner, because a lot of it's not just looking at labs. I mean, I'm also, you know, feeling feeling their thyroid, your heart and your lungs. So I don't want people to think that they can just go get this kit and it's all good. But to answer your question from the beginning, yes, you could uh, go to a functional doctor. They can get the blood work there. They can get their stool test there, see what inflammation is going on, and create a protocol. To get them towards their body doing a process of healing.
And of course, getting guidance from somebody who knows what they're talking about is always helpful, but perhaps even more helpful is at least giving somebody some tools to help with them to understand their body. And
Right.
if they go and get the blood work, they got this piece of paper looking up all these foreign numbers and these ranges. Some things may say normal, some things may say low or high. What are biomarkers or markers that you particularly look at that may indicate that you need to go and get somebody's help to try and walk you through this process of understanding your body a little bit more? Are there, you had mentioned vitamin D earlier, so I was wondering if there's another a few that you're like, if this is low or you're, bad here, you definitely need to reach out to somebody to help you.
Yeah, so a number one thing is CRP and HSCRP. So I would do, HSCRP. I would do a GGT level to see how you're detoxifying, uric acid level, hemoglobin A1C. I definitely want to see last 3 months what your glucose has been like. Is there sugar coating that red blood cell, right? And so taking your glucose level doesn't look at the last 3 months. So with the hemoglobin A1C, we're able to look at that. And we hear about insulin sensitivity. So that's a really big deal when we're talking about inflammation. The other things are things like homocysteine levels, so just a CBC, CMP, um, looking at hormone markers as well. So yeah, a lot of those.